At the laugh track, I laughed hard from all my soft parts, and my smarts tempted to fix it.
Like a charity event as opposed to like a normal gig?
It's good. I get asked to do a lot of these types of things, and I have to say no a lot of times because of scheduling or, you know, various other conflicts. This one came together nicely, and it feels good. Like a good cause to donate your time to, and that's it. I mean, it's a different deal entirely. There's more of a sense of everyone's kind of donating their time and resources to be in one place, rather than it being sort of a day-to-day work thing, where venues are like, okay, we're open and we need to like make money to stay alive and, you know, stay alive as a business. Whereas a place like this is like, okay, we're gonna open up and have nothing but volunteers here, and so there's like a communal spirit that's happening.
All right. How did the name Astronautalis? What's the story behind that?
I thought it was sounding really cool when I was 15 years old. I wanted to sound like a really cool scientifical rapper, because that's what rappers thought was cool back then. You had to be dropping mad scientifical madness, yo. And so I sat in my mom's minivan, driving around, just listening to J. Root Damager, trying to combine cool words to make a cool rap name, and I came up with Astronautalis, and now I'm stuck with it. And there's nothing I can do about it.
Super Scientifical was like their version of...
Yeah, it's exactly that's
Turned.
Yeah. Turned, yes, exactly. Turned up yellow swag. It's pretty much
you know
Super
what I mean?
Scientifical Madness 10 years before.
That's right.
So, what do you guys think makes Minneapolis music scene different from other cities?
Different than other cities. It's cold. There's no nightlife. So therefore, like, you can do drugs or you can make stuff. You know, you can make art, you can make music, you can get together and do something creative and productive with your time. So that's why I feel like the art and music comes out of Minneapolis, is that there's nothing else to do here other than make stuff, and you're like virtually trapped indoors for 3-4 months a year. So that's a good chunk of time to be able to just create. Yeah. So I think that that's a key component to really what we have here, is that a lack of diverse choices for what you can do with your night, and a lack of diverse choices for going outside in December, January, February, March. So there's that. Two, the music industry is not here, okay? It is in Nashville, it is in Los Angeles, and it is in New York. And it is not here. So there's not like weird A&R guys and like creepy money dudes creeping around and trying to pick people off and make weird jealousy stuff. So what it is if I can get a show and I can get my friend on that show, I'm going to do everything I can to get that friend on the show, because I know that that friend's going to do the same for me. And that's kind of it. Like, that's like a sense of community that we build here. And you collaborate with other artists, you collaborate with different bands, that, you know, sort of starts to weave a community in a way. And then from that, you know, there's people, like, again, back to the lack of diversity in nightlife, one of the prime things to do is to go to shows. So you can have a lot of people at your show and put your art out in front of a lot of different people, because there's really not a lot of other places for it to be.
having lived in other cities as well too, like, this city goes to more shows than anybody. Like, there are just people that just go to, that's all they do, is they just go to shows all the time. And it's not just like that one old dude in a top hat, you know, that passes out in the back. Like, there's just hundreds of people that are just constantly, their week is going to shows. And with the addition of the 2 radio stations and 2 free weekly papers that really support and kind of ride for this city in a way that, you know, most cities don't even have a radio station that plays independent music. We have 2, you know, like, and 3, yeah.
4, actually. KMOJ, Radio K,
wow.
KFAI, and Current.
Yeah, so exactly 4. Seattle has 1. And so there's some infrastructure things that the city has that other cities don't. And I think by and large they exist because, again, it's really cold and it's really lonely up here, and so you need stuff to do, so people just be starting radio stations.
Right? That's what I'm saying. People just do stuff. They just start bands. They like, all right, I guess I'm gonna learn guitar now.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna learn how to play piano now. You just do that. Or like, I'm gonna learn how to draw and paint. You know? Thankfully, there's more infrastructure to do music full time than there is to do like visual arts full time. You find a lot of the fine artists have to go, but a lot of the musicians are able to stay because you can do your job remotely. Because you can't survive on making music to just do it in this town. If you want to do it professionally, you have to tour. And you know, visual artists have to do gallery shows, and there's bigger infrastructures in like major metropolitan areas to do those things. That's where you find those people.
What would you say is the biggest difference between the Jacksonville music scene and the Minneapolis music scene?
Minneapolis has one.
Next question.
Yep, pretty much sums it up. Jacksonville, if you're not a cover band, or a ska band, or a Sublime cover band, you really can exist as a musician there, and
That was both.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I have a lot of friends that are musicians in that area, and every one of them that became a successful musician left to go somewhere else to become a musician. And I have friends that like still live there. Who a friend of mine, Radical Face, tours over in Europe and plays like sold out theaters for thousands of people, and he refuses to play Jacksonville because 30 people come out. It's taken me years to get it's taken me 15 years of being a rapper in and around Jacksonville to get 300 people to come to a show. Yeah, it's tough. Florida's tough.
Are you in the middle of a solo project?
Mm-hmm. I am. Kind of in the middle of 2 solo projects, and then in the middle of a Doomtree record as well. So I'm making lots of stuff right now.
Anything you can tell us about those two?
They're awesome.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited. That's it. They're awesome. It's exciting.
What is your favorite venue to play of all time?
First Avenue. Really, I mean, that's not just local love. Like, that's real. Let's see. Metro in Chicago is cool. Higher Ground in Vermont is cool. It's
really
basically because if you're like, okay, so when you're on tour, you go to a lot of these different venues or whatever, and a lot of the staff doesn't really care that you are there because you're just sort of like rolling through. You're not really like their big show for the week or the month or the whatever. So they're just kind of like, yeah, all right, come on in. You've been on the road, like not really sleeping, eating really poorly. You drive all day. You get to these places, and it's just like, all right, it's kind of like the routine. You sit in a lot of my time is in a van or a green room like this. You're not necessarily treated that well. But Higher Ground in Vermont, First Avenue, what I think as an artist makes these places stand apart from others is the way that they treat people. You come in, the staff is like friendly, the environment's clean, the sound is good, there's competent employees there, whether it's the sound technicians or the guy helping you load your stuff in. People have answers and they're friendly, and so that's like the big deal to me. So if you guys are gonna open a venue, just treat your people right.
The lessons from Uncle Sam.
Oh man.
How did the collaboration of you and POS come about?
I met him in 2004 on the Warped Tour when he was Atmosphere's merch guy. And he was like, I rap too. And I was like, oh, cool. And then I heard him rap. I was like, whoa, you actually are really good. And then we just became pretty much immediately friends and talked about making music forever. And I would come out here and meet up with him and work on songs and stuff. And sort of just whenever we find the time, whenever we find ourselves in the same place with some time to kill, we get together and hammer out a couple of tunes. And that's sort of the way it's always been, and probably the way it will always be.
What's the progress on the Four Fists?
It's progressing.
Between the both of you, what releases that you've done are you most proud of, and why?
I'm the most proud of my album, Pomegranate. Not because it's my best record. I don't think it's my best record at all. I don't think it's my best work, but I think it was the first time that I found my style and my voice and sort of my own kind of unique relationship to creating music. I think the first 2 records that I made were still me trying to be other things and me borrowing heavily from other artists, and then that 3rd record was when I felt like I made Astronautalis' sound and music and really kind of found my groove. And then I feel like I went on to progress and improve on it, but that record for me is a huge sort of benchmark.
It's a quality answer.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I think about these things like when I'm alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the shower.
When
When I'm alone in the room, stare at the walls. Think about questions some guys might ask me.
I don't know. I think No Kings is my favorite release because I feel like the process in which I wrote the song was the most fluid and natural and easy I've ever felt about writing.
It's a good record, yo.
I was about to answer. I know.
You see a restraining point.
Why do you like to be an independent artist?
Cause no majors are hitting me up.
It's like is a loose term.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I think at this point, it'd have to be a pretty amazing deal for me to go to a major label.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I'd do it for like $500.
Dude, I got you.
So, no, but I guess,
Astronautalis Inc. Subsidiary.
yeah, so I started a label with my friends about, 13 years ago, because the idea of getting signed to a major was like, okay, when I was growing up, that was how it had to be done. You had to like get your mixtapes out there, demos out there, find an A&R, get signed, be on a major. And then there was headshots, the tapes that Rhyme Series was putting out before they put out like CDs. And I found those tapes in high school, and I was like, oh, you can like just do this without having, like, you can get your music to people without having to be on a major label. And then like kind of watched how they did it. We decided to make our own thing. We run it way differently than they run theirs. I mean, they're like a way more legit and official label than we've ever been. We're kind of like a more like loose flowing, like, cool, time to put the record out kind of thing, yeah. We do that, and I don't think I would change the way it's done. I think that the majors are now looking at people like us, trying to figure out how they can survive. We have survived by staying like fluid and ever changing, probably because we never actually had like a square structure, so, you know, and so we're able to stay fluid, and these people are so rigid and old-fashioned. Change and reinvent and just do what I want whenever I want, and I don't have like Kyocera or PepsiCo or whatever like hounding me for like the new hit. Like, I don't have a licensing deal with any kind of big publishing house. I don't have to like sell out arenas. I can just do what I want and make my own stuff.
How does the show change with a live band?
I think that was for me. It's a lot louder, it's a lot faster, it's more like a concert than like when I play by myself. It's like sort of like a solo performance of talking, storytelling, Uncle Andy story hour. I'll play songs, but also just talk for 10-15 minutes with the band. It's much more like a proper concert, just songs and songs and songs, and everybody yelling and sweating and, you know, dumping beer on each other, and sort of kind of punk rock mayhem.
Any special guests we can expect to see tonight?
I got Sims coming up.
I got Fundo and Astronautalis coming up.
Yeah.
So.
They're pretty special to me.
How did
Split the beans.
collaboration with you and Laserbeak come about?
We're best friends.
I don't know, yeah. We're like super good, longtime friends. And I will tell you though, like I had to, we weren't friends forever. I mean, like when I first met him, he was making beats, and I wasn't in Doomtree yet. This was like 2001. Doomtree was like just starting as an idea, you know. And I played a show, and I remember like looking at Beak in the back, and I felt like he was judging me the whole time. He was kind of doing what Fundo's doing right there.
Right? Watching?
He's kind of sitting there like this, like kind of rubbing his chin a little bit.
I'm Jack. I'm sorry.
And yeah, and I think I impressed him because he like later he's like, I'll give you a beat. Show, and I was like, cool, because I had asked him for a beat, and he was like, I don't know, man, we'll see. I don't know, we'll see what's up.
There's a lot of people hounding me for beats right now.
He was like, yeah, but it didn't work. I mean, they have been forever. Yeah, Beak's awesome. Beak's the man.
So, when do you guys think that you'll ever stop making music?
2-3 months, or between 2 and 3 months, and like 30 to 50 years from now.
Yeah, hopefully sometime between after this show and before I die. Yeah, yeah.
It'd be weird to keep making music once you're dead.
Yeah, like Tupac.
Like Tupac. Oh my god. Hey, let's be friends! Yeah, dude, I don't know. It's hard to call it. Like, doing it professionally, I don't know. But I'll be making songs for the rest of my life, for sure.
If you weren't making music, what do you think you guys would be doing right now?
I think we'd be on one potter's wheel.
Together.
Yeah.
Let go.
That's the best answer.
Done. I can't top that. We'd be together on one potter's wheel.
Jesus.
That's even when you're alone in your room, you think about that. Off the top of the toe.
I was thinking about Tupac for some reason.
Yeah.
That's what came up.
Potter's wheel.
Swayze. maybe I went from Pac to Swayze to Swayze.
There you go. Got it.
Was I thinking about Swayze? Is Swayze a rap group?
No.
That's the rapper, yeah.
It's a rapper.
They're thinking of a group, right? There's two dudes.
Yeah,
Or you-
Cisco Adler.
yeah. No.
From Drew Hill.
I
No.
believe so.
No, that's just Cisco.
Oh, okay.
Cisco Adler. But basically about the same.
No, Drew Hill.
They don't know Drew Hill.
That's a good thing.
Did you ever get to a point in your career where you thought maybe music isn't for me, and what kept you going?
That's a really good question,
That's
actually.
a really good question.
Yeah, I'm there like every 6 months for like ever. I think it's not that music isn't for me, it's that this as a career isn't maybe the move. But you know, like I feel like a lot of people in every profession ask themselves that question constantly.
I think if you aren't constantly reevaluating your life, I think that there's something, you grew up under power lines or something, like you need to constantly be questioning, like, is this where I should be? Is this where I should be? You should be doing that all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's healthy, and I think that because, you know, one day if you just wake up and you realize, wow, I've just been doing this thing for 15 years and either I have nothing to show for it or I absolutely just hate it, like that's way worse. I'd much rather realize, like, you know what, this isn't for me anymore, I'm done, I'm gonna move on, I'm gonna get on Potter's wheel with my man here, I'm just gonna
Talking about
throw some pots, you know,
these ashtrays.
yeah, just gotta make a bunch of ashtrays and pitch pots, but you know, instead, you know, of waking up, you know, when I'm 50 and being like, whoa, what the hell did I just do with my whole life? You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's like a legitimate concern. You sacrifice like stability, and that can be in a relationships and in financial terms. You sacrifice your time, and in return you get a lot of great stuff. And sometimes it's financial stability, and sometimes it's relationship stability. But you get a lot back, and you get to do what you want to do. I think all in all, I always try to, when I start flipping out and thinking about all the stuff that I could or should be doing, like I ain't got no 401k, you know what I mean? Like I don't have these types of things, so I start thinking about all that and get worried that maybe music isn't it and da da da. I think about the fact that I am like, okay, this is super deep and way too much, but I am a ghost piloting like a flesh-covered skeleton made of stardust on a big rock hurling itself through space. What the fuck is there to be afraid of? Like, just do it. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
You
Like,
said that one before.
yeah.
That was amazing.
I just feel that. Like, that's what I think about when I'm like alone. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm gonna die before I even know it. And so, like, why not do exactly what the fuck I want to do? I guess all that other stuff is just gonna fall in place, or like not.
Preach, my man.
That's
Preach.
all right. So that's what I feel when I flip out about. Yes, I think about maybe music isn't for me every 6 months.
Alright.
What he said.
Alright.
Shit.
The ghost pilot thing. This
Also
kid-
shit. Also hell nah. I'm tired. Shit.
Tight.
So, what's your guys' favorite song to perform live?
Right now, mine is always like a brand new one
Yeah.
before it's released.
Yeah, when I'm still working the kinks out on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like the first time you perform a new song, it sort of sucks, but then like by the third time you start to really get the groove on the song, and that's when it becomes really fun.
Mhm.
And I think like the most exciting thing is the first time you play a song and you see people knowing the words to that song. That's like
the shit.
the most, even if it's like I have songs that are out, that aren't out yet, that I've been starting to play live more and more, and I start to see people knowing, like recognizing it when it starts, and knowing the words to some parts and stuff, and like that is thrilling.
When we played This Is the Place for the first time in June, we had released that song maybe a month before, something like that, and like almost everybody in First Avenue knew the words, or at least knew the chorus or whatever, like they were like singing along, and that felt amazing. It was like the first time we ever played it and people are singing the words. That was awesome. For me, like it's always exhilarating playing a brand new one, you know? So nobody knows.
You guys recording?
Yeah. Sorry. What would you say are your guys' other hobbies besides music?
Shoot, man.
Right, motorcycles.
Yeah, motorcycles,
Motorcycles.
cocktails, no, I don't know, motorcycles,
Fantasy football.
yeah, we play a fantasy football league together.
Red motorcycles together. Supposed to be throwing pots together.
I love watching basketball. I love shoot. What else? Man, I do a lot of
guns.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have dogs. I do CrossFit. Yeah, I do all types of stuff that's fun. I read books about mobility, not like economically, but like
Physical mobility.
I read a book that
Sounds
is
boring.
Yeah, it's called Becoming a Supple Leopard. This is what happens when you get older.
You
You have to like learn how to like, oh shit, my hips hurt.
Yeah, they do.
All of a sudden, you're like old.
You
And
upholster furniture?
You get fat quick. Yeah, oh, I've reupholstered a chair before.
I sat in chairs. I sit in chairs.
That's right.
Shoot.
I work on my house a little.
He does.
What
Yeah.
else, man? Fucking
I like to travel and
go
camp.
to cool websites.
I go check a lot of cool websites. I Google the hell out
I
of
do
things.
lots
Man,
of-
lots of Googling.
I do
man.
lots of cool websites.
Lots of cool websites.
I don't know.
Alright, so what's your guys' favorite artist to collaborate with?
I really like the guy that produces my records is a guy named John Congleton. He's a musician and a producer from Dallas, Texas, and there's a lot of really great people in my life that I work on music with. There's a lot of people that I'm really lucky to work with, but John and I he brings something out of me that no one else brings out of me. We work really fast together. We have a really kind of good work ethic. I love working with so many of my friends, but John is the reason he produces my records is because he's my favorite person to work with.
That's another great answer.
I got asked a question earlier. No problem.
I was gonna say bitch on me.
Bitch on me. Who's your favorite artist to collaborate with?
Me.
You're looking at him.
Bitch on me.
There's so much edited
I'm
out
trying
of
to
it.
get with what the kids are doing.
Yeah, it's
Bitch on me. Just turn
he
this
just
cardigan.
baby arms for 30 minutes. Oh man, I can't
I
wait
like
to
doing baby turned up is my favorite. Turning baby. It's good.
I think that'll do it then.
Alright,
Alright.
man. Sorry to completely blow it. Well, welcome to interviewing artists.
Yeah.
You're all waiting and we're all waiting, yeah. You're all waiting and we're all waiting, for that call on the telephone. That call on the telephone. You're all waiting and